The fallen leaves tell a story.
Yeah, not doing that. Anyways, today I got a great idea of trying to beat Elden Ring in one sitting. And for the two people who don't know, Elden Ring is massive. But before anything, I need to make myself a nice character. And after working on it for 30 minutes, my god, I created what the fuck is I made that? Anyways, it's time to start. So first of all, you start the game by doing a cinematic door opening. After that, you find a little friend that offers you beer. And now I woke up at a random cave. I knew I shouldn't have fucking drank that much, damn it. After waking up, I saw a little side path and decided to take it, which turns out to be a tutorial for Elden Ring. With enemies so difficult, it took me like a good minute to get them. To even the first boss, which turns out to be one of the hardest, scariest, strongest, and most feared bosses in all of Elden Ring. Holy shit. Now that I've finished the tutorial, it's time to actually start the game. And luckily, I got a game plan. The plan of the century. First, I got a brand new armor set from an NPC. Then I wanted to kill the biggest dragon I could find to get a ton of runes. With them, I'll level up just enough to use the full armor set. But right before I'm about to start my first fight, I also wanted to collect the 2 halves of the Dectus medallion, which will be important later on, so I won't get into details. And now, it's finally time to kill the first couple of bosses, starting with Margit. Margit for most people is a really difficult first boss. But here's the thing, I'm not a new player, and I know how these bosses work. I'm not gonna use like a racial slur or something, dude. So can I like get the bleed on him? Yo, game? Game? Where is the bleed? Damn. No! Yeah! Woo! Holy shit, I'm so low! And after that, I entered the Stormveil Castle and took the side path recommended by the guy that is probably a freak. Anyways, I finally reached Godfrey, and on my first attempt, things went well, but something was missing. So I went to the other side of the castle to find a woman named Ophelia, and I mainly used her for a meat shield while I gave him back shots. And eventually she did die, but it's all I needed to beat him. Ow! No! I'll forget to give myself extra healing because I might be dead then. No. There we go, yeah! After beating Godric, I headed to the other side of the map to get a second Uji Katana, which is the sword I'm gonna use for the run. After that, I went to Liurnia, which is home to a giant castle with wizards, or as I'll call it, Hogwarts. I know, a very original name. Anyways, before I could enter Hogwarts, I first had to find a corpse that was guarded by a magic breathing dragon. After dying and grabbing what I need, which was a key to enter Hogwarts, I of course ran past every enemy until I met a big dog and killed him. And after walking around for a bit, I finally found the boss of Hogwarts, which is Rennala. Now, first phase was quite easy, you just hit 3 glowing women, then Rennala would fall down. attack until she goes back up, and repeat. Once you're done with that, second phase is when things start to get hard. She starts spamming magic attacks like a little bitch, but luckily it's very easy to stagger her, so I use that to the full advantage. Oh, what the hell? I hate this. I forgot how much I hate this. Come on. No! Yeah! I'm going to grab one of these cups. I'm gonna see if Pedro can do fetch. It's the best I can do. Come on, come on. Fetch it to me. Come on. Bring it to Papa. Aww. Well, I appreciate that too.
I know it sounds crazy. I went to a hotel. The guy was mopping the floors.
Now that I've been in Rennala, I decided it's time to upgrade my weapons, which is why I spent the next 2 hours in caves getting upgrade materials. After those 2 hours, I had to progress to the mid-game, which was locked behind a grand lift. Luckily, those 2 halves of the Decus medallion I got are the key to activate the lift. So now, I'm officially in the mid-game, and enemies are a lot stronger now. The first example of that is the Draconic Tree Sentinel, so to help me out, I decided to do a side quest. And that is to fight one of the best bosses in Elden Ring, Star Scourge Radahn. First of all, this guy is badass, and second of all, this guy has an entire festival dedicated to kill him, so luckily, I'm not alone against him. Now, some of you might be wondering why I'm fighting him. Well, I need to kill Radahn to unlock a hidden area where I can find what I need. So without further ado, it's time to fight Radahn. Well, it's easier that way. No, it's easier, so. Fuck. I am ready. Radahn is pretty weak to Scarf Ron, so... Come and fight me, Radahn! Not afraid of you! Yeah, baby! Oh. Oh, Pedro's sleeping. Very eepy boy. Da, da, da. You're probably wondering what happened. Well, until now Radahn was holding back his stars, and one led into the starting area, Limgrave. So I went over to where the star fell, and went down to the hidden city named City of Nokron. In Nokron, there's a specific item named the Mimic Tear. This item clones you and helps you in fights, so I knew this would be a game changer in the long run. Getting the Mimic Tear, many to be a leer. I got Stone Key. Yo, I can't attack! Yeah. Sorry, you're dead. You're dead to me. Let me open this and get what I need. That's it? Damn. Now that I have the Mimic Tier, I just need a couple more things to actually stand a chance against the next bosses. Starting with talismans. Specifically the warrior shard. Specifically the warrior jar shard. That sounds really hard to say. I hate that. And for that I just need to find an NPC and kill him. But no, I progressed this quest line because I was bored, and now he's stuck in a hole, and now I just look like a psychopath trying to kill the NPC by force, and forgetting that I need to get an oil pot to get him out. So I'm just gonna real quick. Now that I have what I need, I'm just going to show you guys.
This will have it right.
I'm sorry what I'm about to do, guys. I'm very sorry. I'm sorry.
Mine.
I'm very sorry.
Yeah, they were and
This is gonna you guys are gonna suffer. I'm sorry.
I see it now. Humans all and there's nothing left to say except I am Iron Fist Alexander.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Alexander.
How could this?
Sorry. I needed this. And now I just need one final thing before I start fighting bosses again. A rune arc. Specifically, Radahn's rune arc. Besides a little hiccup on the way to the tower, no! Everything went smoothly, and now I'm finally ready to fight again. Starting with getting revenge on the draconic tree sentinel for making me go through all of this. And after beating him, I can finally enter Leyndell. And after running away from enemies like usual, I climbed up a giant dragon, then ran away a little bit more, then climbed up a giant tree root, which led me to the next boss, which is Godfrey. And this guy was tough. At first I tried to use my Hoarfrost move, which I kept using on every boss, before I realized it does jack shit to its health. So, at that point, I realized I had to go raw dog sword fighting his ass. Now that I've been Godfrey, it's time to fight the next boss, which is Margit. Yeah, so it turns out the Margit we fought at the start was an illusion created by Morgoth, which is his real name. So now, I'm finally going to fight the real Morgoth. Slime Morgoth! Eat shit! Now that I've been Morgoth, I had to talk with a woman named Melina. I haven't mentioned her until now, but basically she wants me to kill what's inside the Erdtree, which is a giant tree in the game that is basically looked at as a god. However, I can't get inside the Erdtree because its thorns are blocking me. So, she sends me out to find a giant furnace, which is hot enough to burn the Erdtree. But one problem, this furnace is guarded by the only giant left, the fire giant. And oh man, this boss nearly made me quit. First phase isn't that difficult, but second phase is when things start to get hard. He starts using a ton of fire attacks to do an absurd amount of damage. On top of that, this boss has so much health. I'm pretty sure he has the most amount of health of the entire game. But even with that, I tried. Again, and again, and again. And I think you get the point. This boss was like nothing else up until now. I was actually stuck. But I kept trying more, and more, and more. Until I had enough. I realized this isn't gonna cut it. Which is why I got one of the strongest weapons in the game, the Great Star. Once you have this weapon, you gain health back. And not only that, but it also builds up bleed. But I can make this weapon even stronger. By applying the Prayerful Strike, I do even more damage and even more healing. This boss is fucked.
Ow. Yeah. Woo!
Yeah! Now that I've been a fire giant after nearly 2 hours, I finally set the Erdtree on fire. And you would think I would just be able to fight what's inside the Erdtree after this, right? Well, no. After setting the Erdtree on fire, Melina puts you to sleep, and you wake up in a place called Crumbling, Farum, Azula. Because turns out, we also need to get the Rune of Death, and allow death to happen. Because up until now, you physically couldn't die. So after running away from ancient dragons with thunder abilities, I stumbled upon a room. And this room is where the god skin duo reside. Okay, so remember how I just spent nearly 2 hours on the fire giant? Well, these guys are here to make me suffer even more. Because not only do they do a shit ton of damage, but are also really fucking annoying. I had to go attempt after attempt after attempt for nearly an hour before I remembered how I could beat these guys more easily. You see, these two are very easy to put to sleep, which is why I made sleeping pots. Basically, I would sleep the fat one and beat the shit out of him until he's dead, then help my mimic target the skinny one. And now that I have a game plan, it's finally time to fight them.
Yeah! Woo! Oh my god.
Now that I've been in the Godskin duo, it's finally time to take the Rune of Death. But one problem, the Rune of Death is protected by one of the strongest bosses in the game, Maliketh. In the first phase it's very easy and takes like 10 seconds to beat him. However, second phase is when things start to get hard. Maliketh stops holding back and pulls out the black blade, which has death in it. And not only is he fast, but its attacks also do a ton of damage and remove a chunk of your health. Luckily, I know how these bosses work, so I decided to use my Uchi Katana to fight in close and long distances, as I also need to be fast to even damage him. And now, it's time to fight Maliketh. Yes! 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 Holy shit! Holy shit! Now that I've been Maliketh, I finally enabled death to happen in the world, and we're officially in the endgame. After messing around with the rune of death, I woke up in Leyndell that is covered in the ashes of the Erdtree, and with only 3 bosses left, I just climbed up a bit and found the first one, Gideon, and this guy is a fucking joke. So while I'm beating him, let me remind you guys to like and subscribe, as I'm trying to get to 1000 subs by the end of the year, and also join my Discord server to get updates on up and coming videos and streams, and also have leaks on up and coming projects. Anyways, back to the video. Now that I've been in Gideon with ease, I went back up to where I fought Morgoth and found Godfrey. Yeah, so the Godfrey I fought was an illusion by the Erdtree to stop me, and now the real deal is here, and unlike the other one, this Godfrey is really fast. First phase he uses his axe to attack me, but once I hit him enough, he kills the lion on his back and uses his bare fists to fight me. Yeah, this guy's fucking insane, but I can't let that stop me. It's time for round 2 against Godfrey.
Lord. That wasn't it. He is dead! Woo! Thanks.
Now that I've been Godfrey, I'm finally on the final boss, and this boss is a twin one. First boss you fight is Radagon, and after beating him, you have to fight the Elden Beast. And now, it's time for me to step through the Golden Gate, and become the Elden Lord. Yes! 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 I did it! I did it! I finished! Holy shit, I fucking finished again! Holy shit! Holy shit! I did it! And now, we can officially stop the timer. 11 hours and 39 minutes.
Our seed will look back upon us and recall.